Hello from my orchid room. I hope it's not too loud. I did have to leave some fans on today because it is 100 degrees hot, but I am watering my orchids today. Got my migraine relief glasses on and off because the Mars Hydro light behind me triggers my migraines, and these Axon glasses are wonderful at preventing a migraine, but they're harder to film in. I have been fiddling around and I came across two orchids that I got from Sunset Valley Orchids, I think last month. And I repotted one because she was rising up out of her pot, and I am always curious, always curious. And I hope I am till the day I die, continue to be curious. But I noticed when I opened her up that she still had her moss plug from being a seedling. Granted, she's not a huge plant right now, but I thought to myself, I'd take you guys along on the second one. Now, the first one I did without you, sorry, and she is a Lilolodogesta, something to that effect, darkest blue, crossed with the Cattleya Little Leopold Nightshade. And she has grown bigger and she has advanced to this pot. She has a nice square, she wasn't a square pot, so her roots are all nicely squared around. And I put her in a bigger pot. I crocked the bottom like I will with my second one. But she is done over there. I'll put her little sticker tag in because I'm known for losing them. And let me show you the one we're going to be working with here today. Let me take you down here. So here we have this little girl. And she looks happy in her pot, and I probably would leave her there if I wasn't curious, but I am curious. And this one is Laelia Cattleya Plum Lulu Hot Lips crossed with Cattleya Caudebec Linwood, a 4N. So she's a hybrid, been crossed around a few times, and let us look. Now, for every time I water her, these little tiny flakes of tiny perlite and tiny wood chip come out. And I'm going to advance her up to a little bit bigger bark. Let's check out what she looks like on the inside. Let's see if you can see. Make sure you can. And the last one had a few little dead tips all around. Yeah, and this one looks like she's got some dead roots. They're brown. They don't look very healthy. Well, they all kind of look like that. I wonder if this kind of root might have a brown tinge to it. So I'll be delicate and do my best to see if they are good roots still. But all of this seedling stuff is falling off. So I'm just going, and there is her moss plug. See that? It suffocates those roots in the middle. So when I've been watering her this week, who knows where the water has been going? This month, actually. It's been a month, I think. Here's a little cross tag from the nursery, what she was crossed with. I guess they're little personal tags. A 7671A. Okay. So I am going to untangle these roots. Let me take my watch off so it doesn't get all dirty. I am going to untangle her. Yeah, these are all flat and they look mostly dead. The other one I should have showed you. It was great. They were white roots. They looked healthy. Just a few dead tips. So this one's going to need some nurturing back to healthy life. Many people don't change their media until the new roots are starting. That's highly recommended, but you know me, I'm highly controversially opposite the rules. Because I'm curious, I found out that she had the death going on all around her, so instead of waiting a year to find out she was dead, it's better to know now. Better in my book. Peel away all of this old sphagnum moss. Not much new and fresh in here. Down here we're twisted up, black, flat. Let me swish her in the water bowl and see what we come up with. I have my Miss Bella behind me on the floor. She had to have surgery. She had a huge cyst that grew and regrew after they removed it last year. She unfortunately now has a big patch of skin with about 20 staples in it. My heart breaks. So, say a prayer for Bella Girl that she gets no infections. Okay, we have a few roots that are plumping up. These ones that you see that are green. The green is from algae, not from it being a good root. That's frustrating. I was deceived in my appearance of looking at them. I thought green and healthy. But no, it was green and algae. If you go down here, it's like squish, squish, all the way down, all the way up too. So off comes the velamen. I might just leave the root and see if she can hydrate from that. But there are quite a few, yes, all of them around this top part. Oh, that is so maddening, so maddening. Well, this is how we learn. Look, there is a new root. Yay. Let's be gentle, Michelle. Oh, and this white one is new. So I am going to trim off what is dead and show you what is left. There is so much death in this here pot, but it's so deceiving when you look at the beautiful green leaves. So I know she's got the hope to keep surviving. Now these roots are branching out, and some of the branches are trying, or they tried, but in the time that I should have checked her roots. This is why I remind myself, check the roots on every plant that comes into your house. I could have waited a whole season to find out she was really a death pot. But here, when I get these off, this dead off, then it's not going to mold the media, and she will have a chance. I think, well, one more in the middle is still dead. That is what we're looking with. We're working with 1, 2, 3 roots, and hopefully she will grow some more. So that will help me in choosing the size of pot. Now the last one I had to upgrade to a bigger pot because she had a good old healthy set of roots. But this one I think will stay in a small pot. Let me clean up my mess and show you which pot we're going to use. Here you see the pot that she came out of. If I measured, I think it's a 2-inch pot. Let me get my measuring giraffe out. Yeah, it's about a 2-inch, maybe 3-inch high. 1, 2, 3, maybe a 3-inch high. And she has this much root that was crammed into there. Good roots. So it was getting too shallow for her. But now my dilemma is, do I go with this square one, which is long enough for her, and she can tuck up against one of the corners and we can have room for her to spread out and grow? Or do I match her sibling and just keep her in this one? Either way, I will crock it up. I think I'm going to go with the smaller of the two. Don't want her to feel like she's lost in space, wearing, 2 size too big tennis shoes to school that your sibling passed down to you. Yeah. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to crock the bottom with some rocks and pellets and stones, just because I don't want the media to sit there over a year and just go get wet and foggy. There's no need for that. She doesn't have roots that long. She does have, they're 1 or 2 roots, but there'll be enough moisture in the pot. So I do that, and I have my mixture of perlite bark and charcoal, and I have larger pieces of bark that I will put towards the bottom, and she came with that tiny little bit, remember? So I know she likes it airy. Most Cattleyas want to dry out completely between waterings. So I am going to put a handful of, excuse me as I reach down, hello, under my desk. I'm going to put a bunch of big fat bark in there. Then I'm going to place her in it. I'm going to take some of that stones out. Alrighty. And it looks like this is her newest growth. Going up the back here, I'm going to peel off the dead sheath outer covering on those bulbs, just to, it's easier to do it when she's got a little bit of wetness to her. That way, if there's any bugs hiding, I will see them. Well, with my bad eyes, I probably wouldn't see them, but if there is by chance a root tip trying to burst through that sheath, it gives it a little bit of extra help. All right. So she's got these two new roots. I don't know if you can see them. This one and this one, they're kind of touching. And those are new, and we're banking on them. And then right over here, she's going to have a new root to pop through. So we will tuck her down in, and I'm going to move her forward as much as I can to allow the back here to give her space for the next year's growth. And I will put that large crocking media and just fill her up as I make a mess. Messes are good. I used to love to see my kids filthy, dirty, and hot. That, I knew that meant they were playing hard. I also loved them right out of the bathtub, all smelling good and kissable. Yeah. So we are tucking her in. She's got a little wobble on this side, so I'll put some more in there. Now I love clear pots so I can see the progress of the roots, but I think I'm getting, at 3.5 years in here, I'm getting more prone to understanding the rhythm of orchids in my orchid room, and watering and root growing and that kind of stuff. I overwatered my first year and learned a lot my second. And now I think I'm working on my third, and I hope I do it all right so that I can see tons of blooms in my orchid room next year. Here we have her all tucked in, and clean off the space in her new pot. She is a little wobbly because you saw how many roots she didn't have. So I'm going to put some big heavier rocks or stones on top just so she doesn't get wobbled around too much. I like to bump them up right next to the canes. I don't always have spiked sticks, you know, I have bamboo sticks, but they rot. And then the metal ones, they're usually so tall. So I like to bump up rocks right next to them, wedge them up. I can always remove it when I'm watering and get her fully soaked up. So here we have her, Miss Cattleya Plumalulu Hot Lips. And I'm excited to see how she progresses for the year. Thanks for watching me with this repot today. I wish you well. I wish you peace. Stay safe and stay cool. Until we talk again, bye-bye.